Welcome to SFGovTV In Person. I am Jeremiah Ysip, your host today. And we are here at the United Playaz Clubhouse, and we are celebrating the 30th year anniversary of serving the community, specifically the South of Market here in San Francisco. And United Playaz is a San Francisco-based youth development and violence prevention organization. And I'm very happy to be here to talk to Rudy and the rest of his staff. So let's introduce ourselves.
Hi, my name is Vanessa. I'm one of the program managers here at United Playaz.
Hi, my name is Brandon Jackson. I'm program coordinator for middle school.
Hi, my name is Maria Fabia. I'm a K2 coordinator.
And I'm Rudy Corpuz, better known as the Gorilla Pinot, AKA Rudy Valentino. I'm the ED of UP.
Cool. So can you tell us your journey and mission, how you got involved with United Playaz?
So originally when I started United Playaz, it wasn't even something that I thought about doing. It was, it just all kind of happened organically. I was hired at a nonprofit organization in San Francisco called Bernal Heights Neighborhood Center, which is in District 11. I got hired as a Filipino gang prevention counselor. And so my mission was to go find the Filipino gang members, right, in that District 11. There's 11 districts in San Francisco. And so I knew where they was all at. I'm born and raised in San Francisco. I was a part of that lifestyle, so I knew where they was all at. Went to Balboa High School, which is in District 11. In 1994, it was off the hook. And so upon being up at Balboa, sure enough, they're all there. Big fight ensued, right, between different ethnicities. And from there, nobody was able to learn because of the violence that was going on between the big fight between Filipinos, blacks, Samoans, and Latinos. So myself and several other people, Andre Alexander, right? Shouts out to Andre Alexander. He was the coach of the football team at Bow. There was a brother named Leyte. You remember Leyte? Big ass Samoan, excuse my language, around 6'4", you know what I mean, from Frisco, North Beach, one of my partners. He was a hall guard, and he had, you know, a lot of good credibility with the youngsters that was up there at Bow. And so at the time, there was a Filipino principal there. Her name was Ms. Montevirgin. She was looking for solutions, and the police couldn't stop it. Nobody could stop it. So I got with all those dudes. They was able to come in a room. They wanted to meet. And from there, they wanted to make a club because they came up with all the solutions and the answers to stop the violence. The kids did, the youth. And so they said, hey, we should name this a club. This is in October of '94. And I gave the power to the people. I said, what do you guys want to name the club that we got right here? Because everybody was getting along in the room, you know what I mean? And so United Playaz, UP, October 1994 was born. And that's how the name came. And so boom, fast forward, we're here in 2024 in October.
So let's celebrate 30 years.
30 years, man.
Yeah.
Worldwide, baby.
Yeah, it is worldwide. You have so many people supporting y'all, like Kaepernick and Steph Curry, everybody, yeah. Right?
They all seen, I believe, the spirit of what we do and what we're about, you know, which is based on love. Everything that we've been doing from day one, way back then we was at Balboa High School, right? So I met that guy at Balboa, right? These two sisters right here from the neighborhood that I'm from. You know, I ain't from District 11, I'm from District 6, born and raised, South of Market, Tenderloin. And so all over the world, and people saw that the love that the youth, right?
Yeah.
Who were involved in it, spread it, and, you know, who don't want to get no love.
Yeah.
So they all part of it. I'm thankful.
Yeah, it's dope. So how did you get involved?
Well, so I'm born and raised here in South of Market area. So, you know, they had the rec center over there. And so that's where all the youth would come and just gather, just everyone from the hood. You know, would just play basketball, you know, meet up, hang out after school. So I was in the 3rd grade and I joined basketball for the first time. I was garbage, like totally garbage. I was not the best, but I had this mentor named Tim. and he
May
really,
rest in peace.
yes, and he really motivated me and kept me focused and really kept me in the game and say, like, you know, keep going, keep practicing, you could do this. So by the time I got to 4th, 5th grade, you know, I was balling,
Yeah.
you know, and so without his guidance, I wouldn't have made it, you know, that far in playing basketball. But, you know, Rudy, he's like the neighborhood hero. He's at the rec, you know, he chopping it up with everybody, and he, you know, he just made everyone feel welcome. And that was even before there was like a headquarters to even be at, you know, so it was just the rec. That's a public place to be. And so, you know, he just built community there, and, you know, I just felt at home.
And you've been there ever since.
And I've been here ever
And
since.
she's still balling.
Still balling. And yeah, we got to play ball then. So and you started. When did you start?
I started in 6th grade. I started going to Bessie Carmichael for the first time. I didn't know anybody except for like my neighbor. And then I got introduced to United Playaz by Kuya E. He was my mentor. May he rest in peace as well. He really introduced me to this. He pushed me out of my comfort zone because I was very much like a loner, didn't know anybody. I wasn't very open to being social with other people. But when I came here, he was like, go introduce yourself to everybody, like left me alone to go introduce myself. And I did exactly that. And I mean, the rest is history. It's like super fun. Everything's cool. So I love it.
And you've been with them since how many years now?
I don't know. I think maybe 2009.
That's amazing.
Because that's when I went to 6th grade.
Yeah, she was a participant, and now she's a staff.
Yeah.
But just real quick, thank you for bringing up E. So Eric Fatucioso is one of our staff who worked with us, who passed away, and Tim was a mentor of mine. These are all Filipino cats that we're talking about. The South of Market we in here has over 120-year history of Filipinos. So as you can see, right, it's Filipino too right there.
By heart.
It's black Filipino.
Black Filipino.
You know, it's Filipino. We was black before we came, right? But everybody they mentioning has actually been a part of the fabric with the love. Tim was love. Eric was love. And that's all they did was give out love. And look what we got here now.
Love.
Love.
All right, brother. When did you get involved with?
I was at BAL back in 2004, and Rudy wanted me to be a part of UP, but unfortunately, due to like the gang culture I was a part of, I couldn't, because basically the people that I really didn't get along with was already in UP. So it was kind of like I couldn't be a part of UP, even though I wanted to, but due to stuff that transpired, I was just like, I can't do it, you know? And then how did I end up getting the job here? Shout out to my mentor, Mike Brown.
May he rest in peace.
I got a call from Mike Brown. He asked me, was I open to working with kids still? Because I was working with kids over there in my neighborhood. And I said, yeah. And then he was like, call this man named Rudy. And I was like, Rudy? I'm like, I only know one Rudy in the city. So I happened to call Rudy and then did an interview, and then I got hired down here, and I've been here for 12 years. And it's a blessing. It's a blessing to work with kids, you know.
You a blessing, brother.
To just be a part of a positive environment.
Yeah.
Coming from a negative environment, to be a part of a positive environment is a blessing.
Yeah, you want to talk about that negative environment?
Negative environment was just growing up, being part of a neighborhood, you know, doing things to feel accepted, you know, not getting the right nurture and love at home, so you step out your comfort zone to go get it from friends, or, you know, when you just want to be loved, bro, it don't matter what environment you're in, it don't matter if it's positive or negative, because love can come from either environment. Sure. It's about what environment you choose that you feel like you can succeed in at the time. Yeah. Me being a negative thinker at the time due to my way of living, due to my environment inside my household, I chose a negative environment.
Yeah. So how did you, what attracted you to want to come to UP at that age? Because it's hard for teenagers at times.
It just seemed like a fun thing to do. Like if I can go back in time, I think I probably would have been a part of UP, but it was just like, you know, when you have to go there and then you still have to go back to your neighborhood and they're like, oh, you was over there with them? Like, what you doing hanging with them? Yeah. Like, you know, that type of stuff. So it was just more like, chose a side as a kid. As a kid, I chose a side, and it was like to where I was from. Yeah. But if I can take it all back again, be honest with you, my message to the kids, it's okay to be the kid that get along with everybody.
Yeah,
that's right.
Like, you know, it's okay to be that kid, to be different, and you can get along with everybody without choosing a side.
That's real.
Yeah, hey, I just want to add this, right? And it's based on a true story. Brandon, when I first met him, didn't really want to be a part of anything but what he was doing. And he was caught up in that negative cycle, right? Of the turf life, that death life, that money mac and murder life. It was Arrested Development. But growing up now, you know, his mindset has changed. He really wanted to get with our organization when he was at Bow. I used to try to get at him, but he was hard-headed. You know what I mean? He'd be in the gym shooting 3-pointers for money. You know what I mean? We was gambling. And that's how I would get with them. I'd stand over there with him and chop it up because I come from the same cloth.
Yeah.
But he was one of them youngsters, man. If he would not get involved in something, he'd have been dead or in prison.
Yeah.
With that elbow.
Yeah.
And look at him now.
Yeah, look
you know
at
what
you.
I mean? Helping out the kids from neighborhoods that he had rivals from.
Yeah.
On my mama, and she in heaven. So, you know, his mindset has changed. And, you know, I'm really proud of all three of them, what they stand for and what they do for the people.
Yeah. Is it because UP is very relatable, like Rudy, as opposed to other teen groups? You want to explain?
Yes. You know, you don't see too many people who look like you, who, you know, talk like you, maybe dress like you, that are like walking a positive path, right? Sometimes a lot of people are just like, you know, like who can I look up to, right? And, you know, kids, we embrace kids to take pride in their individuality, right? And sometimes kids are just lost and they don't know, they don't have any guidance. They don't have that guidance at home. I was fortunate enough to have 2 parents, you know what I mean? But not a lot of kids, you know, in this world have that, you know? Or they do have 2 parents, one is just don't have the time or attention to give their kids. And so I feel like we fill that void for them, you know what I mean?
Is it because the community is, I mean, it's the parents are too busy working, so sometimes they kind of not around their children sometimes, so they don't have like that kind of loving upbringing at times because they're so on that grind and hustle?
Yeah. My parents were on that grind and hustle. I felt like there was some gaps that I feel like they didn't fill for me, but then growing up, I also understood what they were like hustling for. You know
That's
what I mean?
right.
And so like I've accepted that as I've grown older. But with some kids, you know, some kids, they have parents who, you know, who are like, you know, who are on drugs, you know what I mean, who are absent, who are not there. You know, some people are raised off love and some people are raised off survival, right? And so really they're, you know, it's just kids trying to navigate their own lives. And sometimes they don't have that with their parents or their guardians or, you know.
Yeah. And then that's where UP
Stay
comes
sharp, girl. Stay sharp. Big facts.
Yeah. And that's where UP comes in. You guys bringing that, you guys are the bridge that brings the families together and you guys are kind of.
Well, you look at the name, we United Players, right? And all players is people who are coming together, who are doing something positive, productive for their people in the hood, right? You got United Players and you got United Haters. Some people don't want to connect and get together. And that's cool too, that's a part of life.
Yeah.
But we choose, man, to live. We rather live than die. See, our whole thing is based on making it fashionable, making peace fashionable, right? And as Vanessa was speaking, you know, most of us Filipinos, we grow up, right? I'm first generation. Our parents, the way they show us they love us is they out there grinding. Most of them don't tell us they love us, they just do it.
Yeah.
And you don't understand that. You know what I mean? Till, like you said, you get older and you realize why they was doing what they was doing. Because my mom and dad, you know, they ain't never told me to this day, and they both of them, you know, passed away, they didn't say it out loud, right? And so you want love. If you ain't hearing it, you're gonna find it somewhere.
Yeah.
So I was you know, on the sidewalk, on the porch, I was on the street at an early age. But all that time, they were showing it by their actions. And now that they gone, I understood, and now I know what they love was the way they was giving it to me. That's how Filipino people was raised.
It's true. My parents were like that too.
But you said it very well though, Vanessa. I felt you. That's real talk.
Thank you.
Yeah. With that said, how has this program evolved over the years since you started?
I'm gonna let them answer that. Sure.
So how's it evolved since you were a student and now you're a teacher?
It's evolved a lot. Like when I was younger, I wasn't like emotionally like prepared or like knew what to do in situations where like I was like lost or going through some things. I feel like now in the program, like we have us having training with the trauma-based interventional.
Trauma-based relational intervention.
go.
Yes, and
It's a lot of letters, huh?
yeah, it's TBRI basically. In other words,
What is that? Can you explain it?
like it's like a trauma-based where you're like repairing the bond that you have and like learning to like navigate through those emotions instead of like suppressing them or acting out against them. And I just feel like that is very helpful in today's like age with the kids that we do have. And it's like a life skill that we're teaching them to take along the way so they're not like acting up, acting out anywhere in the world. They can at least do it here with us in a safe space where we know how to like help them and give them like resources. And I think that's like the major change that I've seen so far and the community outreach that we do. We did community outreach when I was in middle school, but I feel like we've done more now.
Yeah.
And like even during like the pandemic, we were serving like the seniors. We were serving like the senior graduates, like when they couldn't walk the stage, we did a drive-by. I think it's changed a lot in like a positive way.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about the mental health part of it?
To me, the key of our mission is to help them identify emotions and feelings, because if you can't identify emotions and feelings, if you can't identify it, it's like, how could you control something you can't identify?
Yeah.
You know, and the key is if you can get the kids to identify it, the younger they are, the better off they will be in the future.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of hard when you get a high schooler and try to restore morals, identity, self-respect, and stuff of that nature. You know, like it's kind of harder. So to me, what I identified doing this work is, if we can install it in them at an early age, the better off they will be when they become adults.
Say that then. Say that then.
And can you explain like the changes you've seen in the kids you got in the beginning to how they became later adults?
Yeah. So I just want to go off on what Rhea was saying about trust-based relational intervention. So that is a trauma-informed approach to vulnerable youth that we serve who experience adversity and trauma in their lives, right? And so that consists of 3 main principles. That's empowering, connecting, and correcting. So with that, that's our investment into our youth is delving in deeper into their lives, right? Trying to identify like why they move the way they move, why they talk the way they talk, why, learning about their upbringing, right? And then identifying those factors like Brandon was saying, and then being able to nurture them where it's needed, meeting them where they're at, and then, being able to transform their lives to where they can be better people, into the world. And so I feel like when we instill those factors like respect, integrity, and all that, when we see that translate into our kids and they're showing that and they're ending up teaching their siblings and showing, you see something that you teach someone and they're actually, putting it into action, that's rewarding. Like, that you're doing the right thing and that you're steering them in the right path. Like,
Beautiful. And
man, I love my staff. I love y'all. You know what I mean? They are frontline soldiers, boots to the ground, and they deal with this every day.
Yeah.
Right? You guys articulated so well in what y'all just said. You imagine us when we all grow up, we was taught not to cry. We was taught not to express how we feel, right? And when you grow up, you got to express what you feel and you say, right? And if you do, right, you get your whooped. You better not cry, right? And so if you really think about it, man, our people, our black people, our brown people, way back in the days, we was the ones who cultivated all this, but it was kidnapped from us. And now, you have people who are putting it into letters, but this is something our people always been doing from day one. It just got kidnapped. And so this is really natural for us to give out love and to give it back.
yeah.
And love ain't no soft word. You know what I mean? It's really spelled N-O, right? And so the things that we're learning, I'm still learning it. And that third learning, we're learning from getting trained to teach these young kids who are growing up in a world full of hate.
Yeah.
We winning. And you're right, that is, man, what we have to do, install those values again. Because we ain't got them, man. This is raising our kids.
That's true.
You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And whatever they scrolling through and they seeing, right, it's the sound bites.
Yeah.
Right? What do they call that when you go through there and it keeps coming back?
The ads.
The algorithm? Algorithm?
No, the algorithm.
Algorithm.
Right? If
Can't
you're watching
pronounce it.
fights all the time, and I like fights, but I know it's entertaining to me. Imagine a little kid who's getting it and he's seeing it, that's all he's thinking, right? And that's ingrained in your head.
It's true, it's true.
And so it's important that these letters that we're taught, that's already in our DNA from way back in the days in the Philippines or in Africa, right? Or whatever country you come from, our people been having this installed in them. That's why we're receptive to it. You know what I mean? And so when we're learning, we teach this, it's our duty. It takes the hood to say the hood. It takes us to teach our people the truth, right? With the spirit of everything that our people, where we come from, for us to get by. Because this world, man, is toe up. Every day it gets worse and worse. Turn on the news, you see it. You know, it's full of hate. And so, man, I love what y'all do. Y'all frontline soldiers. Hearing them speak like this, I ain't used to seeing them speak like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now spitting game like that, that's what I talk about, making peace fashionable, right?
Yeah.
We really making it happen in real life. And so, man.
And that's what makes us so like genuine and pure, because even us, we're still dealing with our own trauma, still trying to heal from it. And, you know, but at the same time, you know, we're helping others, we're helping youth deal with their own traumas and also helping them heal. And so I feel like that feeds off of each other. And so, like, you know, heal people, heal people.
Ooh, say that then, what?
Heal people, heal people.
Man, healers need healing, man. My brand is coming out soon, y'all. Y'all go cop that. I ain't lying.
You know the crazy part is?
Yeah.
The kids feel like they need us, but they don't know we need them more than they need us.
Ooh.
Beautiful, yeah.
That's fire right there.
True. Want to explain?
It's just like we can be having a bad day, but when we come to work, the kids uplift us. The kids, like, you know, take us out of a certain mode and put us in a higher spirit.
Yeah.
Spiritually. It don't matter if we play with them, if we laugh with them, play a pickup game of basketball, or just crack jokes with them. It's just the interaction, you feel me? Can take our mind off something we have going on outside of work,
Yeah.
you know, and then it'll just put us at a peaceful place.
Yeah.
Yeah, kids is medicine.
So
True.
We got cats who are coming home out of these penitentiaries who've been going 25, 35, even 45 years straight, right? And they're coming back and giving to our community. But what they fail to realize is what Brandon just said. The kids is actually bringing life to them. They're medicines to these cats, right? So, yeah, man, you know, shouts out to all them young kids out there.
Do you want to talk
I'm
about
a big kid.
You want to talk about that program you do with visiting the juvie and
You can speak on that.
So what's big for us is we have a reentry program, right? And right now we have we connected with the Justice Department at Juvenile, and we got two caseworkers, and both the caseworkers are lifers that came home from doing a lot of time in jail based off making a rational decision, not being able to control their emotions and their feelings. So I think it's kind of big when we got lifers coming home to connect with the kids in juvenile, and they don't just connect with the kids in juvenile. They show up at the middle school, they show up at the elementary school, they go to high schools and talk, they go to city college and talk, and it's just like you got to kill the pipeline, man. The elementary to the penitentiary pipeline has to be killed. And the only way to kill it is people that actually been through it. Because the people that been through it know how to kill it, know how to attack it. It's like a tree. You look at the branches and you think those are the problems. No, it's the root. What is the root of the problem? And that go back to TBRI, being able to help people identify and control their feelings and emotions.
Yeah. So how did you guys start that program where you go, this partnership with like the different jails to be able to talk to the inmates and change their lives and stuff like that?
How do we start that?
Yeah, how'd you start
We
that
was locked
partnership?
up in there with them, right? And so, you know, that's our people, you know what I mean? And accountability is very important. You cross that line, and like Beretta said back in the days, you do the crime, you do the time. I come from that school. And so a lot of guys who are stand-up cats who come home that we know, who we've been incarcerated with, right? Or we go back in there and we talk to them, they know about what we do. Because, you know, the streets is really inside them penitentiaries. So they know what's happening out here on the ground. And they see all they people, right, who's out there putting in work. That's why I always take pictures. know what I mean, with all the homies when they come together. And we talking about cats, when Brandon was mentioning the two dudes, you talking about a Damu and a Kiwi. Them dudes, man, were enemies.
Wow.
Right? And they're not even from out here. They from Southern California. And so we get all these guys together, Northerners, Southerners, others, right? Blacks, whites come together. And they take pictures and it spreads everywhere. And so people want to be a part of something that's working, that's winning.
Yeah.
They want to be a part of this player stuff. You know, this that medicine, man.
Yeah.
Yep, it's free too. Shoot, you pay for that?
No, it's free.
Come on, man. Shoot,
How
I told you it's
big-
gonna be on the shelf in a minute. Diversify your portfolio, man. That's what 40 taught me.
How big is UP at this point?
Shoot, tell them about it.
How big is UP at this point?
How big is UP? I mean, we have headquarters here. I mean, what do you mean how big?
Like it's worldwide, right? Like you have
yeah,
Philippines,
it's
you have other places. Right?
One in New York, one in the Philippines. Am I missing any?
We in Africa. You know what I mean? Hawaii, Baltimore, South Bronx.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How's that
God
make
is
you
good. God is good.
God is good. How does that make you feel to see it like start from Balboa to
30 years later.
yeah?
Man, it feels really good to know that, you know, what started from the people, from the youth, has blossomed and blew up, man, to go everywhere around this world.
It's beautiful.
And
Yeah.
to touch people.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing.
That is amazing, and you're doing God's work, and like, but why do you join gangs anyways? I mean, it's different now than it was back then, but it's almost the same. Like, why do they join like gangs?
I mean, to be accepted,
Yeah.
to be loved. It's more about acceptance and love. I mean, I can't speak for like as a whole. I can tell you why I did it. It was because I didn't feel loved at home.
Yeah.
My daddy did 16 in the state. My mama raised 4 kids by herself. And now I had the type of mom that go to work, bust her butt, come home, pay the bills, and it's like have my house clean, but it wasn't like helping me go over my homework. It wasn't like the nurturing part didn't come, you know. I love her to death, but the nurturing part didn't come, you know. So I ran to the streets and didn't get it there either.
Yeah.
Truth be told, didn't get it there, but that's what I was looking for.
Yeah.
Acceptance and love, you feel me?
Yeah.
And I think a lot of kids it come from making rational decisions. Like, it's like, man, I don't feel the love inside the home, so let me go try to get it out here. And the whole time, when you out there, you getting manipulated, you know? It's like manipulation, it's heartache, it's losing friends, it's bullet holes, it's doing stupid stuff, it's jail, it's like, you know?
Yeah.
But to piggyback on what you said, I think it's just acceptance and love when it comes down to it.
Yeah.
Wanting to be a part of something.
Yeah.
No matter if it's positive or negative, just wanting to be a part of something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they definitely just want to have like a sense of belonging and like feeling like they have some purpose. Like if you ask the kids right now, like, you know, where do you see yourself, or, you know, what's your future? Like all of them just want to like get money and like, you know, and have a good life, good stable life. They just want a good job. You know, have a house over their head, have food on their table. Really, that's all what they really want. And so we try to strive to, you know, push them to their highest level. You know, some kids will say like, you know, I'm only gonna make it to high school. But with us being here, like you can go to college.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
fact.
you can be bigger than that. But it's just the simple things that they want, really, is to just be able to, you know, have a good life.
Yeah. That's true. And how do you explain to the parents or tell them what the signs could be if that these kids want to join gangs or anything?
I've never been in a situation where a student would want to join a gang, but if it ever had to come down to that, it would just be it would be like a check-in and like show them like that the actions that they're taking, where it could possibly lead, and, you know, and like the resolutions that we could do to prevent that type of stuff. Going down that road is very dangerous. You never know what's at the end of that road, and your life could be cut short when you do those type of things. And I definitely think it's just that extra support and the extra like love and showing that there's a positive side instead of having to join like a gang for just a sense of belonging, or, you know, I think they also probably join for like protection or like he said, like no love there, and they find it out there, but it's really not real love. It's just for that moment.
Yeah.
And I think that's the best way we could do it, just set up a plan and maybe take them out and see a different world other than, the street life.
What other effective strategies do you guys have for to help the youth stay out of trouble? Like, maybe it's not gang life. Maybe it's like, yeah, go ahead.
Just helping them identify themselves. A lot of kids when you're in middle school, high school, like you lost, like you trying to find your own identity, and to interact with them, it's just having the conversation. It's one, you being a mentor, you being older, you open up to them to get them to open up. It don't matter if it's like just a quick check-in, if it's I'm coming up to your school bringing you lunch, or if it's after school and we running a boys group, or we run a boys group at school during school hours. It's just, as far as just checking in, helping them identify themselves, and letting them know like you're not alone.
Yeah.
And you're not the first person that's gonna deal with this issue, nor will you be the last to deal with this issue. So when it come up, we help them deal with it. So when it come up and you become in high school and you see a peer dealing with it, you can help them and walk them through the process.
Yeah. And it's not like, it's like kind of like a 24-hour job, right?
Oh yeah, we get calls at night too when we at home. I get like for therapy, like I'm gonna keep real for therapy. A lot of kids, y'all gonna laugh, but they call me at 9, 10 o'clock, tell me jump on the game, let's play Madden, let's play 2K. Like that's therapy.
Yeah.
That's really therapy. That's
100.
the fact that they feel comfortable even calling you after hours and telling you, come on, let's jump on the game, let's play. That to me, that's a form of therapy, It's like, or if they just calling and can be calling like, man, I'm dealing with an issue. It's 10 o'clock and I'm dealing with an issue. Or could you Uber me here? I'm stuck outside. Could you Uber me here? Or I'm at home, I ain't got no food. Could you Uber Eats me some food? Like all that is therapy, bro. And it's comfortability. I want the kids to be comfortable to call me because we're humans. We just don't deal with a 9 to 5. A 9 to 5, okay, it intensifies after 9 to 5. I learned that from Big Dog. Because after 9 to 5, when the sun go down, that's where it's lights, camera, action.
Yeah.
Real talk.
That's
Big
community.
facts. Big
right?
facts.
It's community, right?
24/7, 365, baby.
Yeah. So speaking of community, like, how have you worked with like the city? You working directly with the city to help keep UP alive, or working within that partnership with the city to help you guys with your program?
So what I learned doing this work is it's important in anything you build is relationships.
Yeah.
Right? And so having a city relationships is important. They can get you in places and doors where you can't get, right? I used to hate the police, and I had a reason why. But now some of the police, I hold them accountable when we work together, because they work for us. Just like, our whole thing is about safety and prevention. Of course you're gonna need them. It's diplomatic to have them at the table with you, right? And some of them dudes who I met now were officers, became cool to, some of my best friends. The chief is my partner.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I learned about relationships and how to build. In order for us to get what we need to get, especially in the neighborhood and era we in, it's important to have those relationships.
Yeah.
I'm trying to build bridges, not walls.
Yeah.
And at the same time, if there's city departments or people who are funders who are not with the mission or our movement, then that can miss them all together, man, like the HIV virus, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm for real about what we do. We are not no sellouts. You know what I mean? We are for real. We are here. Our boots are on the ground. I make sure as an ED, no matter if it's the mayor, the supervisor, whoever, everybody's being held accountable because we are the people.
Yeah.
We elect them to work for us. You understand what I'm saying? And so I want to make it real clear, with the city departments and all them who's in action, they're all part of that chessboard that's on the table, that we all need each other to make things work.
Yeah. I mean, they collab with you. Do they collab with you when you do the gun buyback program? You want to talk about the gun buyback program? Sure.
I mean, the gun buyback was started 2012, I believe, when Sandy Hook happened, right? And so y'all know Sandy Hook. Anyway, from that point, there was people who wanted to figure out how to get rid of guns without having to go on all the red tape. And so the first money that I was able to get didn't even come from the city. It came from dispensaries in the neighborhood. In District 6, we got the most dispensaries, and they was willing to put their money up. And so we got that, but when it started working, we had to build relationships with certain organizations to make it happen. I can't just get a gun, you pull up and give me a pistol, and I'm an ex-felon. I can't even own a gun. And so I had to get the right proper people to do that. Who was that? It was the gun range people from SFPD. So they jumped on board. I got the mamas who lost their kids to gun violence, right? I got ex-felons who did life sentences. We got the youth. We got all the pieces on the table to make it work. And now we've been getting over thousands of guns off the streets and destroying them.
Yeah.
The number one killer right now in America for 19 years and younger are gun violence, suicide, right? Domestic violence, black on black crime, brown on brown crime. A lot of people don't even know, man, how y'all was talking about to regulate their emotions and their feelings, right? First thing they do is go pick up a gun. They don't even know how to have a conversation with their woman when they argue, and they just knock down, And the number one rate of people growing, you know what culture is, demographic, is Asians.
Is it?
Yeah, because, a lot of Asians are getting robbed.
That's true.
They getting beat up, so they going to buy guns to protect themselves. Get a gun, protect yourself. They get the gun, but nobody tell them, man, you got to put it in a safe lock, or when you get mad, how you can regulate your emotion, your feelings.
Yeah.
And guess what? When they get mad, they go right over and get their pistol, man, go kill their wife, or they go to work and kill everybody at their job.
Yeah. So
the high rate, man, of Asians then rose up from gun violence. Even though you're buying the gun to protect you and your family, you actually destroying your whole family and your community.
Wow. Yeah.
So that's where the mental health comes in, like y'all doing.
The social emotional
Teaching them
learning.
how to regulate everybody. We're all humans. We gonna feel something, but how you gonna deal with your feelings and your emotions when somebody makes you mad?
Yeah.
You know how to go, man. Girl gets you mad, your wife gets you mad, or your kid gets you mad. You mad, you done worked all day, you upset, and man, I'm finna go get my pistol. Look at road rage, man. People going crazy, man. They follow your ass all the way home.
That's
you know
true.
what I mean? And so it's a real high of mental health going on right now.
That's true. Do you want to talk about how violence has evolved from? I feel like it was different because we're almost the same age, like physical, and it's still physical maybe, but now I feel like it's more mental. How you want to talk about that?
Go.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, mental health is.
Because it's different. Because before you would just fight it out. So I don't think they do that no more. I feel like it's like more mental. You make fun of each other, then everyone will gang up on that one person and just mess it up.
The bullying.
The difference,
Let
all right,
you
so
go,
listen,
let
the
you go
difference
first.
between the two is back in our day, right? Like, it's bullying, but it's only like 4 or 5 people.
Yeah.
So if we fight only 3-4 people, this before the phones and stuff
Yeah.
only 3-4 people, then it's word of mouth.
Yeah.
An intensified due to cyberbullying is I can be picking on Vanessa, but now 50 to 100 people seen it.
Yeah.
You feel me? Then word of mouth spread, and then a video go viral,
Yeah.
and then it's like, okay, now let's go back to the TBRI trying to identify emotional feelings. So now I'm more embarrassed because now you post a video of me up, now everybody can see it, opposed to just one high school seeing it and it's spreading through one high school. Now all the high schools in the city can see it because it's a video posted.
Right.
So then that intensified the hurt, the anger, and then it's more like, man, how could I go get even? How could I go get my lick back? Opposed to back in our era, it was just, all right, we fight, we squabble, word of mouth, who won. He could say he won, I could say I won, but it's no. And it's just, all right, it gets swept under the rug.
True.
And then you got a gun, you got access to guns where they're everywhere. You can make them off the computer now. You got ghost guns,
True.
right?
Yeah.
And you got war weapons now. You ain't got just regular 38s. You know what I mean? With the 5 bullets in them, you got something, man, with a clip in it and a switch. And you pop that thing, man, you're gonna knock everybody down in this room with one squeeze of the trigger, right? But I wanna be real clear though, Jeremy, I am not against the Second Amendment. You got the right, man, to bear your arms. If somebody, man, runs up in your crib or harms your family, you got the right to protect you and your family by all means. I'm not trying to say I'm getting rid of all guns. If I had a wand around this world and could do it all at one time, because America got more guns here 2 or 3 times than we got people. I'd do that, but the reality is there's guns everywhere.
That's true.
You might be sitting on one.
Yeah. I might be, yeah. I feel something. So for y'all, like, how has the experience of working, like, what will you take with you for the rest of your lives working here and being a participant?
What would I take with me for the rest of my life?
Your lifelong lessons.
I mean, a lot. Standing on your principles, being true to yourself, not selling your soul, just being, standing on your toes, standing on your 10 toes, spreading love, just moving with the spirit of love always, like not operating off your ego and your pride, and, just spreading awareness and just being mindful.
Yeah. And like you found love.
I'm a firm believer of you're a product of the environment you choose. So by me coming over here, it was more of the family environment I enhanced. I embraced it because I didn't have it growing up. To a certain extent, I didn't have it growing up. So it's more like the family atmosphere of it. It takes a village to save a child, to raise a child. Like that's real, because it's like when you're out there, you can get cold-hearted because you living in survival mode, not off love. When I came here back in 2012, it was more like, damn, this is a nurturing environment. This is love. This is love. This is where people are gonna hold you accountable. People gonna call you on your stuff. People want what's best for you, and people gonna push you to do what's best for you. The key to it is pushing you to do what's best for you. As a staff, if y'all pushing each other to do what's best for you, it ain't no doubt in my brain that we're doing the same thing for these kids.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, those who control the kids' mind control the future. It ain't no doubt in that. It ain't no doubt in that. Those who can control the kids' mind control the future. Rap songs and stuff that they listen to, at times they control the kids' brains, and you see what the kids do. Gang culture, pick up guns, shoot guns, ride around in groups, and do that type of stuff. So I just feel like as far as here, what this has done to me, family atmosphere, helped me stand on principles, morals, helped me gain confidence in myself, not just in the kids, but confidence in myself, and actually pushed me to actually want better for myself. My kids come to the program with me.
It was beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah.
My kids come here with me. Of course, if I would always want my kids to be a part of something positive, And due to the fact I made the wrong decision in high school by not choosing it, ain't no way in hell I'm finna let my kids do the same thing and make the same mistake I made.
Facts.
That's beautiful.
Big facts.
How about yourself?
I think they all had such amazing points, and I agree with that. I definitely also want to say empathy and compassion. I feel like everyone goes through some things, and that's okay, and just continuing to move with the spirit of love through everything, and that's really it.
And speaking of the spirit of love, how does religion play a part in, if any, in you guys' role? I feel like that religion and believing in something within this kind of community always is very strong.
I feel like it don't matter if you praise to Allah, it don't matter if you praise to God, it don't matter what God you praise to, because to each his own. But it is a God, you feel me? It is a God, and God woke us up this morning. God put us all on the same page, and God bring us together collectively every Wednesday to have staff meeting here based off for the kids. It all come down to for the kids, And spiritually, you can feel a vibe. You can tell when somebody vibe off based off body language, based off being able to read the room, based off, oh, he acting different today. Now let me go reach out to him.
Yeah.
Hey, how you doing today? You need help? You need a hug? You straight? How can I help you? I can tell your vibe off. And when you do a staff member like that, or even with the kids like that, that just let you know you're loved.
Yeah.
Feel me? So when you pay spiritually, it's just about being loved, And that's going back to what we talked about before. Everybody want to be loved.
Yeah.
People make decisions based off of wanting to be accepted. And who don't want to be accepted by love?
Yeah. Can I speak on that? In difficult times, and how does religion, it seems like people that go through really difficult times become really closer to God.
Yeah. So to me, religion is a terminology and word that I feel is something I can't relate with, because I've been through a lot of different religions, whether it was raised as a Catholic or went to the Kingdom Halls or even studied with the NOI, right? I believe it's about a relationship with a higher power. Like you said, there is a God. Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior, straight up, 100 million. That's who I accept. And to each his own. like B said. You know what I mean? Some people serve, man, you know, the moon or the sun or the devil. My Savior is Jesus Christ. I believe, man, and I know for a fact that's what put me in the position where I'm at now with my purpose on this planet. And I'm very honored. I'm very honored that I'm in a position I know where my purpose in my life is, because you got to have direction.
Yeah.
And it gave me life. It gave me direction. This is my life. This ain't my job no more.
Yeah.
This is my life all day, every day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
365, 24/7. I live it, I breathe it. But I thank God every morning when I wake up and at night before I go to sleep, and many times in the middle, you know what I'm saying? And thank him and honor him when it's good and when it's bad.
Yeah.
And so from the beginning, when all this transpired, you'll be surprised what I have seen God done to evolve the evolution of what UP is now. You know, a cat from the South of Market who come from the trenches, who now has an organization. I used to be the leader of my gang in this neighborhood. We had a little gang, man. We wore colors like this, burgundy with skulls on the back. Little kids all coming up, but I was the leader. And I always led with passion, you know what I mean? And I always led, man, with that spirit.
Yeah.
And to this day, even when we started back October in 1994, we always prayed with all the thugs. That's who Jesus was with. He was with the thugs. He was with the killers, the robbers, the stealers, the prostitutes. That's what the whole Bible, the story is. BIBLE, basic instructions before leaving earth. That's the manual of life. And that's what he did, man. He gave the spirit to the thugs and all them, and they wrote that book, the best-selling book that's out, that is free, that most people don't even open. See?
Yeah.
We all guarantee one thing in life. Well, two, pay your taxes, and guess what else? To die. Because while death, life has no meaning. And if you do not have that spiritual food, because you got people walking all around there, you see it. They alive, right? But they not living. You have to have some spiritual food in your life, because man can't live on bread alone, man. Y'all got me sound like a preacher up in this camp. You know what I mean? But all the way from the beginning, Jeremy, we prayed in. And to this day, what do we do when we have our Wednesday meetings?
We pray in and we pray out.
Come on, man. It's always been God. Amen. G-O-D, God, the biggest gangster on this planet. Because what's his name start with B?
Jesus Christ.
G.
And that's
God.
that's why you're so blessed, Rudy. And you're so blessed to have United Playaz. I'm blessed. You know, and prayer really works. God is real. I've prayed. I don't go to church, but my relationship with God is what's important to me. My relationship with my ancestors is what's important to me. But like I've seen my prayers manifest into real life. And so just having that faith in God just keeps me going and keeps me blessed.
Amen, amen.
You ain't sitting on a gun, you sitting on the Bible. Because this is actually what we have our service in this room.
Yeah, I can feel it.
On my mama. She in heaven.
And speaking of that, like, so for Uncle Rudy, how much has Uncle Rudy made an impact in your lives?
I ain't uncle. Hold up, man. I ain't that old yet. Hold on. I'll run everybody in this room.
I hear people call you Uncle Rudy, so I'm
I'm gonna say he touched more lives than you can imagine. More lives than you can imagine. And mine based off just being there for me, giving me opportunity, giving me a second chance, you know, to work with kids, you know. And me working with kids helped me regrow my heart. You feel me? Like, I don't even like adults. I'm a kid. I don't like adults. Adults are manipulative, adults are conniving, and adults can be very misleading. As far as kids, I feel like the kids can't do no harm. Feel me? The kids can be corrected. And I feel like it's a blessing. He gave me opportunity, and I took it and ran with it. I'm forever blessed. You know, just having a positive person in your life. You know, you can be feeling down and you can go have a conversation with him. You're going to leave out that room with high spirits. You feel me? With high spirits. Yeah. And it's just based off the message he give you.
Yeah.
He helped me a lot. And I'm very grateful.
It's beautiful.
Far from unappreciative.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah. Uncle Rudy, He's always be speaking life into me, into everybody. And I feel like, that really does take me to a higher place when I feel really down and stuff. And I feel like, you give everybody an opportunity to like reinvent themselves and to be able to, be a brand new person every day. And that like you don't even like look at the past of like who you used to be or who they used to be. You just see the greater good into people. And I feel like, everybody's here for a reason and you see exactly why. And you just been there. You be there when I'm down and out, when I'm up and happy. Even my mama call you sometimes. It's all love all the
phone.
time. Mm-hmm.
You got the flip phone.
Flip.
I want
That's
one
the
now.
bad call, player.
Yeah, I like that.
Thank you for your kind words.
That's beautiful. So, I mean, with that said, like, see how many lives you change. What is your hopes for the future of United Players? And do you have any other upcoming like works coming in, like more partnerships with, like, what's your hopes for UP?
30 more years.
To eternity.
For life.
Buy more buildings. Buy more
Blindly.
buildings.
Maybe have our own recreational center one day so we
Create
can have
UP
it our
high
own.
school. Create a UP high school.
Oh yeah,
United Playaz.
Fire.
that'd be cool. Take it more global.
That's right.
Yeah.
Wherever God takes us, that's
Yeah.
where we're going. Let him keep leading.
So what I've learned from this conversation is that there's a definite future for the youth with you guys as the leaders of our community, especially Soma. You're in good hands with Rudy. I wish they had this when I was young. They didn't have that when I was growing up in the East Bay, like near Richmond, Vallejo, Hercules. I mean, we had a lot of gang violence, and I had a lot of friends that were also like affected by gangs and didn't make it out of their teenage years. So it would have been beautiful to have that. So I'm so thankful that just for our community and for just for life that we have something like UP, because we didn't have that growing up. And to know that there's an organization like this that's going global, it's being recognized by everybody, and you're saving lives. I mean, there's still people that are going to fall through the cracks, but you guys are doing your very best to catch them. And so I'm very thankful to have learned from each of your stories, hear from everybody, definitely feel the love, and just thankful. Next time we do this, we'll have like a lechon and lumpia. We'll do a Kamayan. Dinaguan.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you,
Thank
Jeremy.
you.
Thank you for letting our voice be heard.
Yes.
Let me phrase it that way.
Yeah. Well, thank you for being a voice for the community. It's beautiful. So, yeah, thanks again.